Z-23, more commonly called by everyone as Nimi, is an elite destroyer from the Iron Blood. Nimi is one of the 4 starter destroyers and is available as a beginner option for CN and EN players and as a collection reward for JP players after fully limit breaking Laffey, enemy and Javelin. Nimi is the most badly neglected among all the starter destroyers because not only that she was given an insignificantly lesser screen time than Laffey, enemy and Javelin in the enemy, she is also the only one who is yet to get an oath skin. Heck, even that retarded cruiser managed to get her own oath skin first before Nimi. Nimi is being badly neglected by the community to the point that even doujinshi artists are avoiding her because she has the least number of doujinshi listed under her. On the bright side, we can say that there are not many people who is looting her, which is a good thing. Well, almost no one is interested in looting a cameraman anyways. Going back to the serious in-game stuff, Nimi is a rather unique destroyer because unlike other destroyers, Nimi is capable of mounting CL guns, which is honestly a useless feature for a destroyer because while you get higher damage per shot, you pay for it with longer reloads, so in the end, you don't really get anything from giving her CL gun. On the contrary, giving Nimi CL gun is basically the same as telling her all-out assault skill to fuck off, because even the slowest reloading T3DD gun still has 2 times faster reload than the fastest reloading T0 CL gun, which means that you need to wait longer before Nimi meets the requirement to activate her all-out assault. If you look at her stats, you can see that Nimi is an excellent gunboat, having the 2nd highest firepower stats among all the destroyers in the game. Nimi has 2,290 hit points, 170 points in firepower, 215 points in anti-air and 347 points in torpedo. Nimi has 3 skills, all of which are offensive type. Her first skill is called Iron Blood Vanguard, which has 5% chance of activating every time Nimi fires her main gun and grants a 60% firepower buff that lasts for 8 seconds. This skill is available to Nimi on the get-go. Nimi, much like Laffey and enemy, also has a retrofit which not only makes her an SR with a shiny sparkling gold background, but also unlocks her retrofit skill called Destructive Mode. This skill lets Nimi fire a powerful barrage and deploy 2 rotating ships that can each absorb 5 shells and can last up to 10 seconds. Additionally, this skill gives Nimi 100% crit rate for 10 seconds every time it activates. Destruction mode has a 70% chance of activating every 20 seconds. Also, I'd like to point out that Nimi replaces her spats with a skirt and her retrofit skin, which is a really nice thing and makes it worth it to spend all those resources to retrofit her. Her 3rd skill is called All Out Assault. Now, onto her gear. While Nimi has the ability to mount CL guns, I recommend not doing so, because like I mentioned earlier, you don't really gain anything from doing so, because while you get a higher DPS, your DPM still remains the same, if not worse compared to when you mount an ED gun on her. With that in mind, I recommend the single 138.6mm main gun MLE 1929 on her, because of its high damage and long range. The twin 127mm MK12 dual gun is also a good alternative. If you still insist on giving Nimi CL gun, I recommend the prototype triple 152mm DP MK17, also known as the Seattle gun. If you want to give her an HE gun, or the prototype 152mm main gun, also known as the Neptune gun. If you want to give her an AP gun. For her torpedoes, I recommend the quintuple 533mm torpedo if you play her in manual, or the 533mm magnetic torpedo if you are an auto player. For her anti-air, which is not really her strong point, you can give her the standard quadruple 40mm Bofors gun or the twin 105mm AA gun SKC. The Bofors has an ever so slightly faster reload, while the SKC has a higher damage and longer range. For her auxiliary, the standard repair tool and fire suppressor are the best option for her, since she is a gunboat with excellent offensive skills, so you can just focus on increasing her survivability instead. Now for fleet arrangement. For your vanguard, you can put Nimi in the same fleet with Aurora to take advantage of her Everly-up CIA skill, to increase her damage by up to 35% and either Agano Grenville or Sims to take advantage of their artillery command destroyer, which increase the firepower of your destroyers by up to 15%. Alternatively, if you don't have a Gano, Grenville or Sims, you can go with London or Newcastle, since they have the artillery command vanguard skill, which has the same effect of giving Nimi 15% firepower buff. You can only choose one, since you can't put two ships that both have either artillery command skill, since they cannot be stacked together. That is where Aurora comes into play. The artillery command destroyer and artillery command vanguard can't be stacked together, because they have the same first word, which is artillery. On the other hand, Aurora's Revelation skill is not a command skill. This means that the same first word restriction does not apply to her, giving you freedom to put her on the fleet without stepping on the restriction that the artillery command skill has. For your main fleet, you can put either Unicorn or Akashi on your main fleet to take advantage of their reload command vanguard skill, which gives 15% reload buff to your vanguard. However, much like your vanguard, you can also only choose one between Unicorn and Akashi, because the same restriction applies to them, since both of them has the same skill. That's it for this video, and as always, these are just my suggestion and everyone is free to either use it or ignore it. I would like to thank all of you for your continued support, and I would also like to inform you that recruitment for my guild Church of Laffey is still open. Details are available in the description. Well then, I will see you guys around.